Hi, this is Crystal the Herbalist, and this is video 6 of however many it takes to get me through this series on Field of Herbs, and it's based off of the book of School of Natural Healing by Dr. John R. Christopher. He's the one that I learned a lot of my information, and they have an excellent online course, so I just wanted to make sure that you're aware of that as well. If you want to become a master herbalist, as I have, that is an excellent way to go. They have an online that really teaches you a lot of good information. So we're going to talk about storing herbs. So when you want to store herbs, you want to make sure that they're in a plastic container, or at least some kind of a container that's airtight and a food grade. So back in Christopher's time, they actually sealed it with wax, which was kind of interesting. So, but you want to do whatever you can to keep it airtight, so no oxygen getting in there. If it's in glass, you can put something in between each bottle as you're storing them, so that they don't crack or break, or if there's movement of some sort, you'll make sure that they stay good. The only ones that well, they'll last about a year or two when they're stored this way, except for poke root, which was talked about in a previous video. It loses potency if on the same day that it's gathered. So for poke root or long range preservation, the herbs can be preserved into a liquid tincture, extract, or syrup. And a tincture will keep indefinitely as long as it's stored in a cool, dark place in a tightly sealed bottle. Oils should also be stored in amber bottles in a cool, dark place. Powdered herbs will usually last about 6 months to a year, as long as it's put in an airtight container or Ziploc bags. Oily herbs like cayenne, they actually should be stored in a can or a bottle even for optimal use, but not always practical. We actually store ours in a Ziploc bag in the freezer. You don't always have to do this, but that's what we do. If you can hermetically seal the herbs, then they can actually last 2 to 3 years. Now, if you're unable to gather your own herbs, then here are a couple of things to remember. Nicholas Culpeper's Herbal Improved quotes Reverend John Wesley in the preface to his Primitive Physics. Wesley says, "Be sure to purchase your drugs from a druggist who fears God." Just think about that. And then Dr. Christopher, he says, "Be most careful that the medicinal agents you use are genuine and organic. Attempts of curing will be worse than useless, rendering harm to the body if they're not. Whenever possible, collect your own herbs, but if this is not possible, then the next best thing is to be sure to obtain the herbs from a reliable herbalist, an herb shop, or a health food store." So in the next video, we're going to actually talk about herbal preparations, and that one might end up taking 2 videos, so be watching for that. In the meantime, I hope that you're taking these things and applying them in your own life, that you'll think really hard about collecting your own herbs, and I'll see you in the next video. Good health to you.